All right, Sweetfish Plays here, back with some more Red Dead 2 for you. This is going to be part 92. Now we're really winding down here with Epilogue Part 2 and John Marston. We've almost gotten back to the point kind of where John starts off in Red Dead Redemption, and I know we won't get fully back to that point, but mostly I just mean that we have kind of got John's life kind of in order and back together, as opposed to being in a bunch of scattered pieces. Abigail is back, with his son Jack, which is good. He's got good business going on the farm now. He's got some animals to raise. So things are going really good for John Marston. He's been doing some work on the side with Sadie, and now for the first time we know we've heard Micah's name. Micah's name has come up. So things are really winding down here. As far as I know, there's about 2 main story missions left before we sign off for the final time. Big news, I would expect a finale for this Let's Play series to come probably in the next video or the following video, so part 93 or 94. I'll go into recording that video knowing that that video is the finale, and that video, obviously the main purpose will be to finish up those last couple of missions, and then that's going to be it. But it's all going to really depend on how we do things here today. There's a couple side things that I want to clean up before we tackle those final two missions or so. Obviously, the big thing right now here as we launch is obviously our Evelyn Miller mission, just out of the Tall Trees region here. I want to finish that Stranger mission, the American Inferno Burnt Out. Now, unfortunately, that mission I can't really complete right now because I need some time to pass by. Evelyn Miller's writing his new masterpiece at his cabin up here by Tanner's Reach, and we have to support him occasionally by bringing him food. But I only get the opportunity to do that every so often. So before we can finish that, I'm going to have to find some other ways to kill time here. But again, there's lots of stuff that I could clean up. We really made a major push here in the last 10-15 videos to also clean a lot of other stuff up. We've made a good push running through some things in the game, revisiting a lot of things in the game. A lot of side stuff and whatnot. What I really want to do here as we kill time before we go back to Evelyn Miller, there is still a large portion of New Austin where there's going to be some exploration required here, particularly the southwest portion of New Austin. You can see there's a good portion of it still clouded over. I'd like to just do a ride through. It looks like the border only goes to about here. You can see the border here on the map, the southern border of New Austin, but it goes west a little bit further. So I'll, hit a point like this on the map, and you can see it's already given me GPS on a road that will, once I ride out there, it'll completely open up that map for me. So that's one thing. We might find some things to keep us busy by doing that as well, whether it be legendary animals or just little random encounters. You never truly know with this game. So that's one thing that we can do. And I was a little uncertain on whether or not we should resume the ties that bind, but it's really the only other thing that I can do now without going back and doing coach robberies and stuff of that nature. And I just don't want to take the chance at lowering my honor at this point with a lot of that stuff. So let's just focus on the exploration and ties that bind. And then as soon as we can resume the next part of the Evelyn Miller mission, we will certainly do that. So actually, because I've already set a waypoint there in New Austin, why don't we just head out there right now? Check out my character. We're still underweight. I know last time, we really took a second and focused on upkeep, keeping ourselves healthy and well-fed, keeping Clutch healthy and well-fed. And also, we did a lot of chores around our property at Beecher's Hope, which is kind of a new part of upkeep that's required of us now. Our horse is fit and doing okay. It could use a little bit of a clean clutch, but he's okay for now. And I'm still underweight, unfortunately. But I should have a little bit of time here before we need to think about setting up camp and eating. Try and find my horse. I know you around here somewhere, bae.
Hey, friend.
I went back to Evelyn Miller's cabin a couple different times to see if I could drop off food whenever I like. You can't. We should get a notification, like any notification, top left corner of the screen, that lets us know that it's time and that we can bring more food to Evelyn Miller, so we'll be notified when the time is right to resume that stranger mission. I spent a little bit of time a few videos ago opening up the part of New Austin that you already see opened up on my map there. I'm really surprised that the epilogue did not take us into New Austin a little bit more often. I feel like it's really been underutilized. Knowing that we only have a select few main story missions left, I think I'm surprised that we haven't gone there more. I mean, those missions may take us into New Austin, which, you know, now that you know, we're at least familiar with the area, I'd be okay with. But I feel like it's very underutilized compared to every other state, every other area of the map in the game. Now I know it's basically a copy of the map from the original Red Dead Redemption. So I know that we've kind of like been there, done that, and I guess they probably figured that, you know, we've already, you know, spent a lot of time exploring that land, but it still would have been interesting to see the story move to New Austin for a little bit. I know we've done some bounty hunting with Sadie in New Austin. I remember checking out, I've checked out Armadillo a couple times, but that's really been the extent of my travels. The one thing that took us deep into New Austin was the treasure map. We finally decided to conquer one of the treasure maps, chose one of the easier ones, the Hermit treasure maps, took us into New Austin, and we located Otis Miller's revolver, aka Jesse James' revolver. But other than that, we haven't really gone out here a whole lot. But we're about to. We should be able to open up the whole map here, and we should might actually recognize some landmarks and locations from throughout New Austin. I would say I've spent more time playing this Red Dead than I did the first Red Dead. I think there's just more to be done here, for sure. But I still spent a significant amount of time in that map, and I'm sure I still got some memories pushed back there in my brain. Memory recall can be a true bitch sometimes. Jesus. Okay, it's okay. The camera is doing weird things. Don't go that way. Don't go that way, friend. You will be eaten alive. So this stretch of road that we've gone along here so far, we're already in the New Austin region. We're pretty close to Armadillo. We're actually going to ride right through Armadillo again, so we'll see if there's anything new going on there. I also did check out McFarland's Ranch here a little bit. We basically covered the whole Cholla Springs. We went up to Rathskeller Fork. Basically covered the whole northern border area all the way up to the northern border of New Austin from about Armadillo up. So now we're going to really see from Armadillo down in the southern portion. We can see some hints of landmarks already here, like Mercer Station, etc., etc. Like most states in the game, I find New Austin has very defining characteristics. Particularly involving like landscape and like climate, like weather. It's pretty barren, hot and barren down this way. Obviously we're relatively close to the Mexico border. It reminds me really of just like a desert. I mean, it essentially is a desert. It reminds me of a desert, yeah. That would be because it is a desert. Beautiful, we get to catch sunset. I don't want to travel too much here at nighttime. So, not so much the Skinner Bros we're going to have to worry about, especially on the southern portion of New Austin here, as we will have to worry about Del Lobos. Being that Mexico is to the south of us, the closer we get to that southern border...
Hey, easy.
Oh, son of a gun.
Oigan, bandidos, ¿quién es este? A lo mejor trae whisky gringo del bueno. Hey, you! Got any whiskey? Oh. Look, I don't want no trouble.
Oh, son of a gun, I knew they were going to open fire. This is exactly what I mean. Del Lobos are going to be the big problem here. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Oh, boy. This is not good for a couple reasons here. Mostly just because I'm not going to have clutch anymore. So it'll start me kind of in the Armadillo area, but that's going to be it. Clutch is dead at the hands of the Del Lobos. Oh. I was really hoping that Clutch would be my one and only horse throughout this epilogue. R.I.P. Unfortunately, I don't have access to a stable here in Armadillo, so that's going to make traveling through New Austin kind of hard. I don't know if I have a horse at the stables. I do have a horse at the stables. I can't remember what horse I have there that wasn't Clutch that I had with John. It must be Rachel. It must be Rachel, which is technically the OG horse that we started with here in the epilogue. The horse that John was kind of given to us to start the epilogue. But that's a real herder. Man, those Del Lobos are vicious. I'm really, really disappointed about that. Clutch was a good horse. I was low on health, and I thought I had killed them all, but it looks like some reinforcements came in there late, and before I was able to revive Clutch. If I had revived Clutch there, we would have been okay. Now, a lot of times when your horse dies, you have to retrieve your saddle. But it looks like I'm lucky here. They've gifted me this Tennessee Walker, and it looks like it's already saddled up, so. God, I got wolves chasing me. I got Del Lobos chasing me. I could have taken some health there, and it probably would have bailed me out of that situation. It sucks because now we start with a new horse, new bonding level, and we got a lot of riding to do.
Hey, what? The cholera is still raging.
Doesn't look like anything new per se is happening in Armadillo. We've seen some interesting and dynamic scenes play out there before, especially out in front of that sheriff's station. It's a real hot spot for activity. And this horse is gonna have to do for the time being. If anything, I wish they had shot me and killed me first. They got my horse first, which knocked me off the horse. If they had killed me first, Clutch would still be alive, but that's a real herder. It's weird because Clutch's like body and stuff wasn't even there. The saddle wasn't there. It's almost like the Del Lobos took his carcass. Is that a lizard?
Whoa, easy.
100% that was some kind of a lizard. It occurred to me the other day that there could potentially be a stranger mission or two hidden out here in the New Austin region. But as far as I know, we've actually done the majority of them, the good majority of them. The only ones that are really left outstanding other than the ties that bind are those big long collection stranger missions, like for the dinosaur bones and stuff like that. I feel like we've had a good playthrough so far. I know I've definitely had a lot of fun with this game. I wouldn't go 92 parts along with the game if, you know, I wasn't having fun with it and I wasn't getting a response from the community as well. That's the other part to it as well, so. I said I was going to take a break here before nightfall. I'm almost kind of worried to do that here, though, with Del Lobos around. I set up camp in the Tall Tree regions in my last video, or the one before that, one of the last couple. And next thing you know, I was almost attacked from behind by some Skinner bros, so who kind of ambushed me. But that was in the bush. Here's somebody riding out here. Throughout this entire ride through New Austin so far, this is literally the only other person that I've come across.
What in tarnation are you doing?
I don't want to cause too much trouble with him. Wow, this map really extends far west. I mean, you can see it's going to say New Austin, and only Austin is labeled here. You can see the W from New just starting to appear here. This is Benedict Pass. See, Fort Mercer, Mercer Station, Benedict Pass. Those are all locations where I recognize the name, and now that I'm seeing them together on the map, it's definitely ringing some bells. I wouldn't put a Red Dead Redemption Let's Play out of the question if Rockstar were to remaster it at some point. I'm always a fan of remasters. Nothing wrong with playing a great game pretty clear night, good visibility, so I've got a good idea of what's coming up ahead of me. So if I see a group of people riding towards me, we'll try and bail out quick. Pretty sure I bought Clutch for a hefty price too, using some money that I saved up with John. We did a number of bounty posters, which helped. So that's a little bit of a bummer to see Clutch go. We've lost so many good horses. I mean, think back to the beginning of the game when we were riding around on Epona and Ab and 101. Dahl. We had a lot of really great horses throughout the game. Buell was one of my favorites towards the end of the game. We're getting to a little bit of a higher elevation here. You can see...
Whoa!
We've got some
You'll
wildlife.
be okay, buddy?
Oh, that's a real shame. Unless it's possible. I thought Rachel died, so that can't be the horse back at my stable. So it's possible that somehow Clutch ended up back at the stable. I don't know how that could be, but I'm gonna chalk it up as a possibility. I was gonna feed my horse here and whatnot, but honestly I don't know if this is really the horse that I'm gonna take with me going forward, so I don't want to invest too much in it. It's fit and in pretty good shape. It'll get the job done for now. Once we get out to the westernmost reach of New Austin, or at least out west a little bit further, then we'll set up camp and look at maybe getting some nutrition in us. Those were some pronghorns. I was looking at maybe getting some hunting done while I was out here. If not for a legendary animal, then maybe for... just some normal food, some food to eat. Okay, this is great. So this is Tumbleweed, another area you may be familiar with from the original Red Dead Redemption, another one of the kind of I thought this line here was the border. It's not true. New Austin goes south. Wow. It looks like it's a lot bigger than I thought. This is new for us, though, here in Tumbleweed. There's some places here, actually, we could take refuge. There's no place that I can sleep here. Doesn't look like it anyways, but looks like we have a stable right here in Tumbleweed that we can... Tumbleweed that we can check out here, and then maybe we can grab some food at the saloon instead of having to use what we have on our in our inventory, and we'll save that for when we do absolutely have to set up a camp somewhere. Anytime I can go to a town and rest there instead. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to sleep here, but like I said, most of that other stuff we can get done. I wanted to check out the stable to see what is going on here.
How do you do?
Not bad, my man. I don't want to take that horse in. No need for me to take that horse in. That was nice. The guy opened the gate for me. Can we just take a second to talk about the overwhelming politeness of the NPCs in this game? I'm kidding. I can walk into a stable, right? Like, I don't have to ride in. That would just be ridiculous.
First time, huh? Welcome.
Okay, so I need to know, what horses do I have here? Ah, Thief. That's just a Morgan. That's just my Morgan horse. That's all we have, eh? I've got $374. So there's a few different horses I can buy here. Check this one out. Normal price is $950. They're selling it for $712 250 here. Good lord. That's a nice horse though. That'll get you a long way. You can see how much speed and acceleration it already has there with the stats, and how much you can get it to grow as well. It's a pretty nice horse. That American Standardbred horse is pretty nice as well. I don't know, they got some nice horses, but I don't know if I want to spend all my money here. And I don't need the cheapest one, the Tennessee Walker, because I already have a Tennessee Walker outside. Although that's a pretty...
What sort of horse are you looking for?
That's a pretty odd-looking horse, don't you think? Looks like it... has an overwhelming amount of dandruff. I will not buy your dandruff horses. Looks like we're gonna have to ride out.
Okay, I'll switch them out.
On Thief for now.
Good deal. Enjoy.
Wanted to just re-up on all my horse provisions there real quick, and then we'll do the full services package here
Good doing
for
business
Thief
with
to
you.
make sure that he's in good shape before we head out. It should be I should have a better relationship with Thief than I do that temp horse we had there, so it should make the rest of our ride out here in New Austin a little bit easier. To be honest with you, it's been kind of a boring ride so far because we haven't had many random encounters besides getting completely owned by the Del Lobos and watching another of my horses perish before my eyes. Tumbleweed is a pretty small place. That's a pretty nice horse. Now that is a horse worth stealing. Think about the honor, Sweetfish. Think about the honor. Most of the establishments in this quaint town are closed at this hour.
Sheriff! Look what I found! He's in the Del Lobo
You know what they
gang!
do with them 10 stars in Mexico, boy?
Hey, hey, what's all the nonsense?
You don't release me now, 12 angry Mexicans is gonna ride through this town, burn it all to hell. Only lock me up if you want this town to burn, Sheriff.
We do not respond amicably to threats. What's the charge?
He was robbing a stage.
Then the sentence is death. Make
Hey,
your
no,
peace,
the
partner.
boy was gonna put me in cell.
This is wartime, and like you said,
No!
we can't take the risk.
Sheriff?
Okay. From now on, trials are going to be quick, and justice even quicker. We will not submit to these lawless gangs. Get this trash out of town. Where there's one Del Lobo, there'll be more.
Yes, sir. Sheriff.
Now you can be a help or hindrance. You want to help? Follow me in. My God! I was hoping you was the obliging kind. I didn't want to be this varietal of sheriff, but the situation demands it. Just take that bounty poster there and you'll find out. These fellas is known as the Del Lobo gang, meaning of the wolf in the Mexican tongue. I only wish they was that civilized.
Oh, trust me, I've already built quite the rapport with this Del Lobos gang. we already have quite the relationship. Looks like there's not going to be much time for sleeping if we want to take advantage of this daylight, but I will still head into the saloon. So another very interesting scene. We've seen lots of dynamic scenes playing out in some of these towns that we've come to in the New Austin region in Armadillo. There's been events played outside of just in the streets. But most of it has been representative of the political climate here in New Austin, particularly with the gangs and one gang in particular, the Del Lobos, and the havoc that they've been wreaking across the land. We've seen them affected by it in Armadillo, and now here again in Tumbleweed. Not only the political climate, though, it shows you how much sheriffs now are cutting down on these gangs by basically just shooting them on sight. You know, I remember back with Arthur, Micah was arrested once very early on in the game, and we broke him out of jail in Strawberry. But there's a deadly guy like him who was just locked up, and easily we were able to break him out of jail, like slicing bread. It was that easy. And now, somebody like that gentleman that was just shot on the ground is shot simply because of an association to the Del Lobos gang. So it's representative of the changing times once again. Didn't really expect this. Like I said, we've seen a lot of dynamic scenes play out, but they haven't really led to much. After watching that play out, he invited me back in here, and it's led to a wanted poster opportunity. I thought we were going to be pretty much done with them in this game, but it looks like there is indeed some stuff that can be done optionally out here in New Austin. Some cool little side stuff, which I like. It rewards you for taking the time to come out here and just explore a little bit. So these have been one of my preferred side tasks to do in the game. You get a nice little reward out of them. So we have wanted, $60 reward will be paid upon the arrest of Joaquin Arroyo. This one's going to be a bit of a tough one because it's request for capture alive, charged and wanted for questioning in cases of murder, robbery, and arson. Mexican by birth, age 42, 5 feet 9 inches, weight around 150 pounds, complexion dark. So he's a little guy with a mustache and goatee, little Mexican guy. All right. He is known to frequent red light districts, saloons, and was spotted near Solomon's Folly. So at least that gives us a more specific location. The reward will be paid immediately upon presentation to the office of Sheriff Freeman Tumbleweed. Most states, a lot of municipalities in each state have had wanted posters. So I won't say that I'm surprised that it's a thing out this way as well.
Joaquin Arroyo. Word is he's up at Solomon's Folly. These Del Lobos been killing, stealing, torturing, and tormenting the good people of this region for too long. Only good one's a dead one. Except if they know a thing or two, and I believe this one does. You bring him here, I'll have a few words, and then I'll send him to St. Peter. You have my sworn oath on that.
There's certainly a no tolerance policy with these gangs now.
This bounty. Alive seems a pretty big ask for one of these Del Lobos.
It is a pretty big ask, and that's a pretty big price. If you're worried about justice, he won't be alive for long after you walk him through that door.
I'm gonna ride across the desert, bring you a bounty just so you can kill him.
God, no. I'll converse with him first. But after that, things will move real swift around here. Ours ain't a hanging judge, you'll see. He's the I'm with you whatever kind.
I got everything I need, except this bounty.
The poster says alive. Not to be mistaken.
Let justice be swift and absolute.
Always good to collect as much info as possible on potential bounties.
Freshest meats, best prices. Come on now.
Tumbleweed really has more than Armadillo. I'm just trying to look at relative size here. Looks like they're roughly about the same size, like relative size. I'm surprised Armadillo is not the place with the stable and gunsmith shop and everything. There's basically everything here in Tumbleweed. You got the saloon, you got the general store, the butcher, the gunsmith. I don't really need to check out a whole lot more of these places other than the saloon that we'll check out real quick over here. Convenient that it's next to the jail. I'm sure they get their quota of drunk men.
All right, lady.
Good morning.
Let's see, do we remember?
Don't get many new faces in Tumbleweed.
Hello.
It's always so awkward when you walk into like a saloon for the first time in this game and everyone's just staring at you. Especially when you're a new face like I am right now.
Easy. Morning.
This registers the amount of your purchase. Whoa, look at this. They have one of these fancy new tills. Whoa. This is impressive. I'm blown away.
What'll it be?
They've got chili and roast beef. Chili would be great. The roast beef comes with corn and glazed carrots, though, and I think right now I could use a big meal.
Beef, good and hot. Filled a hole, I hope.
Should help me a little bit for now. We still have some work to get done here. I'm on the clock trying to get this bounty, and we got some more exploration to do, so I don't want to be falling off thief while I do it. So we'll pass on the alcohol for now. That house up there on the hill is pretty familiar to me. So there's a stagecoach out of Tumbleweed here as well, which pretty helpful. This is
Just gonna be us and the sheriff before long.
Unbelievable. What happened here?
Hey there.
Good morning.
Hey, you!
So y'all okay? You have a fine time.
See ya.
How you doing?
Can't get any worse.
Sorry to hear that. Good luck.
See you later.
Don't recognize those people. I'm not going to try anything funny here, like trying to rob them or something like that. Don't
Okay,
really
partner.
recognize the people or anything like that, but they made a comment about how everybody is up and going from this place, and pretty soon it'll only be them and the sheriff left around here. Most people, you know, who came here in search of the American dream have probably since moved to, you know, bigger cities like Saint-Denis, place where opportunity is more plentiful. It's like a barren wasteland out here. I feel like we've suddenly started to play Fallout. Don't think that's too far away on my Let's Play list. Okay, so we need a new goal here. This is where our bounty is, Joaquin Arroyo. So I guess, yeah, by going down there, we'll open up a little bit more of the map, and then maybe when we come back to Tumbleweed, we'll come back, like, this way and around. This way, like, up and around, kind of back to Tumbleweed, just so we can, you know, fully see the extent of the map here, and then we'll be rocking and rolling. Oh, looks like we are going the wrong way.
Good morning to you.
Now, one thing about, you know, controlling Arthur was that we could spend fairly long periods of time away from our camp, and our campmates wouldn't usually ruffle too many feathers. I know if you spend too much time away from your peers and from camp and from participating in the day-to-day functions, they send someone after you to try and find you. I never had that happen to me because I checked in with camp fairly regularly. With John now, though, I mean, I don't have much of a doubt that Charles and Uncle can hold the fort back at Beecher's Hope. But I definitely have more responsibility now as John, having Abigail and Jack back there and the property to look after. So it is important that we don't spend too much time just bumming around. When I was on my own and we were building the house, then we were open to a little bit more, you know, free time, whatever we want to do. But we gotta stay focused on our rebuild here. So the further I ride down this particular road, the closer we get to the Mexican border. We're actually extremely close right now. So the rate at which we encounter Del Lobos will probably increase. If this is where we're going to be finding Joaquin Arroyo, I highly doubt that he's out here by himself. There's probably a Del Lobos nest around here somewhere. We've got some signs of civilization over here. It looks like an old abandoned mine of sorts. Really, truly, almost every place in this game is worth checking out because you really never know what you're going to come across. So I want to keep an open mind here. Now, interestingly enough, I remember this train station, I'm sure of it, from the first game. There's a postal office here. I don't know what it is. I feel like you come here at the very beginning of Red Dead. For those of you who are like familiar with the first game, like you are the back of your hand, you're probably laughing at me as I struggle to recall these things and places, but I'm trying. Not really a whole lot going on there. We don't have any mail or anything to check out. There's a fire burning over here. Yeah, Benedict's Point. That was pretty familiar. Whoa.
Easy there.
Morning, partner.
Hey, I actually did 3 of 3 obstacle jumps in 15 seconds. That's been a challenge I've been trying to do for 92 parts. Ride from Valentine to Rhodes in less than 5 minutes. Oh, that's cool. That's kind of an unexplored part of the game for me. I think it's these things here, challenges. So there's different categories. This was Horseman. So they just give you different tasks, and I guess you get, I don't know, XP or something like that out of it. So if for some reason we do need to kill more time on top of exploring, doing this bounty mission, ties that bind, whatever, this is something to look at. Those jumping 3 obstacles in 15 seconds, every time I would jump 1 obstacle, it'd always come up 1 of 3 jumped, and then I just never, like, because it wasn't something that I was focused on. But that was pretty easy. It's a pretty easy thing to do. These challenges have been kind of in the background. If I happen to complete them over the course of the game, whoop-de-doo. It's not something I've focused on doing, but that ride from Valentine to Rhodes seemed pretty cool. I guess some of the challenges are more intriguing than others. Guess it just depends on whatever you're into.
I ain't interested in sharing my fire with you. Get out of
Okay.
here. I knew you were too scared.
So another interaction here that kind of speaks to the climate of things here in New Austin. We think that we've had it rough in other states like Lemoyne with the Lemoyne Raiders, but clearly people are really terrified in this region, and a lot of that terror obviously stems from this Del Lobos gang.
Easy now.
We're really, really close now. I'm gonna get off my horse here and just kind of pretend I'm a passerby, but we're gonna do a little sleuthing here. So we have one individual by a horse here. This is supposedly the location of Joaquin Arroyo, the bounty that I'm after while I'm here in New Austin. I commend Sadie for encouraging John to get back into bounty hunting and to you know, really keep it as a hobby. It's been good, steady work so far. Spying? Spying? There is no spying going on here. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a dust storm moving through here. Now is probably the best time to go get Joaquin. I was going to try and set up on a cliff nearby and try and aim down with my sniper rifle. But we have the cover of the dust storm now, so I think it would be a good thing to take advantage of it. So what's the best thing? Litchfield is probably a good thing to have, and then we're probably going to be up close and personal here. So let's go with the double barrel. Double barrel always intimidates people. And we're not playing around here. We're not going with the knife. We are going with the machete. I want to be as silent as possible. And we really want to hurry before this dust storm passes.
Kill the kid. Joaquin vouched for him.
If Joaquin Arroyo was here, he used his own knife under those speakers.
Oh, Dios mío! Dios mío! Dios mío!
He ain't one of us. You ever drank it while we kill him, bleed him here?
I ain't about to get killed just because you second guessed something wrong.
Huh? You about to get killed because you don't got cojones.
Think about this!
Let's think about it. You ain't going nowhere.
So I've got two individuals talking in that barn, and there's a basement that I can walk in down here. I don't think either one of those guys are Joaquin. Oh, I thought Joaquin might be down here. From what I picked up from the conversation between those two Del Lobos gang members, Joaquin seems to be in charge here because they have someone that they're holding captive, and they were saying, well, we can see if Joaquin is going to have him killed or whatever. Oh, I thought the dust storm was over there. We really need to take advantage of it while it's a thing. Okay, so we're going to come out of nowhere here and question them.
Where?
Who are you?
Move in now.
Joaquin Arroyo?
Joaquin's not here! Please, he's not here!
Everything's okay. Just tell me where he is.
Hop on the tracks! They're robbing the train!
Get out of here before I change my mind.
Oh, thank you! Gracias, señor!
Okay, so Joaquin is not here. I could tell because, you know, with the subtitles coming up at the bottom, none of them were listed as Joaquin. It was all Del Lobos 1, 2, 3, etc. So I wanted to clear that basement because I didn't want to take out the guys here, and then next thing you know, I got people sneaking up from me behind because I didn't search the area well enough. Once I saw that there was that little basement hidden down there, I wanted to check it out to make sure nobody was down there. It was clear. I came back up here. There was 2 guys standing at the front of the barn there, and I pointed my gun at them to question them, and I threatened them, but then they opened fire on me, so I had to take them out. And then I thought the guy that came out behind them was Joaquin, and so that's why I took out my machete in case I had to grab a hold of him real quick. But that was just a guy that is probably shouldn't be a part of Del Lobos. I let him go. They were kind of holding him. He was part of Del Lobos, but the other 2 were kind of holding him captive as if he was like a traitor of some kind. I mean, we know he is a traitor. He tipped me off that Joaquin is in this direction by the railroad tracks. I was hoping to get an update on time here to know how much daylight I still have left, but we should be okay. I could have taken my horse, but I didn't want to ride too close and then they spot me. If I'm just walking through the desert, there's no way that they're going to see me coming. I can probably get the jump on them. Okay. These are the railroad tracks here. Honestly, these Del Lobos could be anywhere. This is their territory. They could literally just come up and ambush me at like any time. I've got 2 riding towards me. You can see them coming out this way, so I'm gonna try and get in the bush here more so that they don't see me. I want to play this right. This is the supposed area that Joaquin is in. There's the 2 gentlemen. They don't look like they're part of Del Lobos, but you truly never know, and I would rather not even take the chance. You don't see too many people out here. So when you do, they're probably Del Lobos. Okay, so I've got visual now on some actual confirmed Del Lobos. You can see I can select them there.
Where's the train?
I don't hear it. But it's coming. It's coming.
How you know it's coming, eh?
Look at the tracks, you idiots. There's nowhere else it can go.
This is a good view. These 3 are waiting for a train to come by, but they don't even know when the train is coming by. God damn it, I keep getting pricked by these damn cactus trees. So they haven't spotted me yet. I want to catch them by surprise really quick before they really have a chance to even quick draw on me. I don't want them to even have the chance to pull their weapons out.
Arroyo, Arroyo, run!
Oh shoot. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Damn your bounty!
Get back here, Joaquin.
Close enough. Come on, vaquero.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, I will get you. Yeah, you think you can outrun me?
Going to take me.
Oh, yeah? Now I'm not even gonna let you. I'm just gonna tackle you. You are under arrest, my friend.
I'll die before I'm caught.
Royal, someone wants to have a talk with you.
Oh, man. Do you really have to make it that hard?
You don't got any objections. What's in here?
I feel like I'm a freaking police officer chasing people down like we're playing Police Simulator now or something like that. It's this stupid fool. This scum might offer me some kind of a deal or something like that if I don't bring him back to Tumbleweed, but I'm gonna follow through with the sheriff's request here. This is for Clutch, you ass.
Do you know who I am? You'll die for this. You're gonna die slow. And you're gonna die hurting. I'm going to watch them do it. And I'm going to laugh.
What was that? I didn't hear you.
Now here's the thing, Joaquin. We got a long walk back.
Come looking for me. We are an army, a legion. You hear those horses? Those shots? You'll know your time has come.
You sure are colorful.
I can't hit him to get him to stop talking like I can when he's on the back of my horse, unfortunately.
You know that the Lobos? Hey, we killed and we burned all the way across the country. You should be scared. You should be quaking in your boots, vaquero. They'll take your ears, they'll take your nose. There won't be nothing left on your head except bone.
You have a fine imagination, Arroyo. I'll grant you that.
And this is why I probably should have brought my horse with me here. But I like this. This is a nice long walk across the desert to give Arroyo here some time to think about what he did.
I'm going to take the bounty poster. I'm going to shove it down your mouth. And I'm going to burn you alive, mister. You wanna burn? You wanna scream? That's what's happening to you.
Okay, well, I'll take that on board.
Honestly, I just was trying to find out some way if I could, like, put him down and punch him or something like that. He just will not shut up. Ironically, good sir, you are the one that is going to die here. And if you think that your minions are going to come exclusively for you, you don't even know how to rob a train properly, my friend. Trust me, been there, done that. Really not that hard. Man, these Del Lobos are a bunch of idiots. Oh, someone's coming this way, so just play it cool. Just play it cool. We got this.
Bounty hunting's too dangerous for like some.
Well, at least he knew I was a bounty hunter. He correctly identified me as a bounty hunter and not a psychopath with an innocent man slung over his shoulder, so that's good. So, you wanted to rob a train, eh, my friend? Now you're about to have a bullet put through your head. God, have you finally finished talking? Oh man, you have one fat ass, my friend. The sooner you get off of my shoulder, the better. You think I can call thief from here? Oh, thank God. That thief must be at a fairly high bonding level. He must be. Well, this definitely kept us busy while we were out here and got us to explore a lot more of New Austin. Now there's basically just this small southern portion here. Originally I thought this was the border to the south, this line going across here, but that's obviously not the case. Must be representative of something else. Unless... No, I was going to say unless the area below that is like Mexico or something, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's Mexico's not playable. It's always so rewarding, especially when bounty missions go as well as that one just did. Again, I popped out of the bushes, and maybe I shouldn't have pointed my gun at them so soon, like zooming in on them, because that's when I find a lot of... Oh, hey, thief. That's when I find a lot of enemies will become really hostile towards you. Not so much when you have your gun drawn. That'll definitely create some hostility, but it's more so when you actually go the extra mile to point the gun at them that they become particularly enraged.
You ready,
and so it didn't really give me much of a chance to talk with them. But I had a feeling I wasn't really going to have much of a conversation with these Del Lobos guys. I'm largely outnumbered. Both encounters we had with them here, both with that building where that guy tipped me off on where Joaquin was, there was 3 Del Lobos members there, and here to rob the train there was 3 as well. So no matter where I go, the Del Lobos are always outnumbering me. So I don't really have the advantage of standing around long to question or threaten them, because they are the bigger threat to me. Look at that, John is already making a name for himself in New Austin. Doesn't take long, does it? I was hoping our ride out here wasn't going to be as boring as it was to start there. It was a little bit of a slow start, but this game never ceases to amaze. If I'm dealing with Del Lobos in the future and going forward, the rule of thumb is really going to be taking advantage of the element of surprise. I don't have numbers. At least when I was Arthur and I was going out on missions, more often than not, somebody was coming along with me. We had numbers, don't really have that now, so we have to rely a little bit more on just the element of surprise and intimidation. The more intimidating and terrorizing you act, less of a chance the Del Lobos will terrorize us back. If that makes any sense. Which it probably doesn't. I'm probably just rambling at this point. But on the flip side, we're back in Tumbleweed. Taking the long way around, apparently, to the sheriff's office. I'm sure he will be quite impressed I was able to get this guy.
Our time together is almost at an end.
I'm going to see you again, mister. Believe me there.
I didn't have to hit him the whole way here.
I ain't been this drunk in years.
Fellers? Mister?
They are also lawmen.
Sheriff, you looking for Joaquin Arroyo?
I ordered him. Didn't have much hope of seeing him, though. Put him in the cell.
You couldn't come get me, Sheriff? You yellow belly, you coward. You sent some vaquero.
I could have come after you, Arroyo. But it's so damn hot out there, I didn't want to sweat.
My friends, they're gonna come for you.
Then they'll die too. Now save some breath for my questions, boy.
I did say it was unlikely that the Del Lobos would retaliate for this lowly fool. I guess it is possible, and it
Put
could
them
bring
in the cage and forget all about them.
could bring some strife to the town of Tumbleweed, but they wanted him. I'm glad that I was able to get him and help out. See justice served.
I believe you'll find that figure to your liking.
Someone's got to do it.
We need good folks like you down here. Should be another wretch upon the wall any day now.
Okay, so good to know that there are going to be more bounty missions that can be done out here in New Austin. That killed some time for us, which is good. When I brought him into town on my horse, everyone, like literally everyone was staring at me. You can see all the people on the balcony up there at the saloon, the lawmen that are hanging out on break here. Because how often do they see someone actually capture a member of the Del Lobos gang? The Del Lobos are always the one doing the terrorizing and getting the better of people. So, while I'm here in Tumblewood, might as well take advantage of their saloon once again.
Welcome back. What'll it be?
Behind you, partner.
Hello, sir.
I'll tell you what, life takes a toll, huh?
Can I get some room here?
Sorry. I was trying to compliment him on his piano playing ability, but apparently that John just doesn't feel like that right now. I'm gonna try the chili this time, my good sir.
Can I get some food?
Delicious and nutritious. Two biggest factors to any type of food. Is it delicious? Is it nutritious? That $60 bounty pushes us back up over $400, so that's alright. This is the most lively I've seen this saloon in Tumbleweed, so things are looking up. There's like 4 people in here.
You be safe out there.
It's a fairly nice place. When I come back here, it might be worth it to check out the gunsmith. If I come back here to do another bounty poster, if for some reason we need to kill more time, that gunsmith may potentially have some unique weapons to the area, so it might be worth checking out. So right now my waypoint is still set down here. Do I really need to go there? No, let's unlock, let's go as far west on the map here while we're out here.
You crazy?
We'll continue to open up the map. There's not too much more of New Austin that I feel like we absolutely have to see. But the more we clear on the map, the better. Who am I kidding? It is impossible to run out of stuff to do in this game. At the beginning, I'm like, well, we're gonna have to try and put our heads together here to find some ways to kill time before we resume the Evelyn Miller mission. I should have known this game never disappoints.
I got you, boy.
Good evening, Parker.
Stop a minute!
Hey there.
One of those guys was a not-so-good guy on that wagon. On my mini-map, he showed up as an enemy.
Jackass.
Hey, chump.
That all, Big Mouth?
Clearly I was mistaken. I thought one of those guys was part of the Del Lobos gang. I was going to try and figure out what they might be up to, but it looks like they're just passing through. A little bit suspicious. It's almost nighttime again. When we do go back to Beecher's Hope, or however we get back to West Elizabeth, once we return home, I probably won't ride Thief all the way back. We'll probably ride to Tumbleweed and then honestly just take a stagecoach. This is the most populated area I've seen out here. Still no updates on Evelyn Milner, but we know that a fairly significant portion of time in-game has to pass before the next part comes. We're gonna go right here. We've almost opened up the entire map here. This is some sort of a cave.
Slow now.
This is on the westernmost portion of New Austin. It's a pretty big opening in the rock there. I'll be surprised if there's nothing in here. I thought it might be a cave that like led to a legendary animal or something like that. It's pretty dark in here. It doesn't help that it's nighttime either. Thank God for the electric lantern. Nope. Doesn't look like anything's here. Come here, buddy. We shall continue. Let's actually try and make a point to...
Hey, buddy.
Set up camp maybe and sleep tonight. It might be a good idea. So it's been, what, like 2 in-game days, I think, since we've rode out from Beecher's Hope here to New Austin. So we've spent about 2 days here in New Austin. Probably shouldn't spend too much longer before we return home. But like I said, I'm almost done with my exploration out here. The Ties That Bind is in... I think it's just east, the part 3, to pick up that stranger mission as a time killer. I think the next part is just east of Valentine, so that might not be too bad to get to. This is really just following the westernmost border kind of all the way around. So technically this is still, yeah, we're just on the outskirts of Tumbleweed now. We've kind of doubled back. It sucks now we're getting so involved with Del Lobos and the Skinner Bros and everything happening back at Beecher's Hope, between all the exciting stuff back at Beecher's Hope with the main story and now coming out here to New Austin and finding some of this stuff. No, I really don't want this game to end. Or at least like single player DLC. Whatever happened to like a solid single player DLC drop for an open world game like this? Fallout used to do it all the time. Like Fallout 3 had some great expansions. I wish Red Dead could build on something like that so that the adventure could continue. There's just so much here. Okay, so there's another little canyon out this way. I don't know that there's any civilization or signs of civilization. So the train tracks continue down that way. That's kind of south. And then I think it looks like they turn back up towards Tumbleweed and then head back towards Blackwater. So that must be where the trains kind of turn around. I don't know. To head back the other way towards Blackwater. It's my best guess.
Whoa, there's
Whoa.
lobos around here. Get the hell out.
Whoa.
You ain't getting no more warnings after this one.
Okay, I'm going.
Head up.
So I thought there wouldn't be much here except the edge of the map. This is Gaptooth Ridge. It says Gaptooth Breach. I think that's what that says, or Beach? I think it's Breach, Gaptooth Breach. It's basically the Del Lobos hangout. You can see just on my map, without even like me actually seeing each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 Del Lobos have been spotted in the area. There could be more. There's a couple buildings here that could definitely be housing them. So wow, this is a cool area to discover. Maybe the border to Mexico is like right here. I'm thinking it's like south here, but maybe it's more like here and like all the way across. I don't know if you get me, like both kind of west and south. But this is good. We have basically found the one of, if not the main Del Lobos hangout while we're out here. So I assume any bounties we receive in Tumbleweed going forward are probably going to involve members of the Del Lobos gang. And ultimately it may culminate with us having to come out here. The guard there at the edge of the property said, "I'm only going to give you one more warning before I shoot." He was real serious about that, wasn't he? Jesus. So apparently we can go even further west here. The map doesn't extend much further south now, but it does actually extend further west. So let's see what we can find way out here. Probably not going to be a whole lot. It's pretty barren and desolate out here. If anything, we'll just expand upon our map a little bit. Interesting. We're deep in the canyons now. Look at me, always traveling late at night, early in the morning. We didn't even get any sleep last night, but...
Easy now.
So I bet you that's probably Mexico looking out there. And that's obviously an area that I don't believe we can get to. Let's see exactly where we can ride out here. We're testing the limits of the map, Rockstar, and there ain't no stopping us.
Slow it.
Okay, so there's a corpse on my map. Just to the left of me here, you can see an X there on my mini-map, so that's identifying a corpse. I was gonna see if I could make my way up there to investigate, but it's pretty treacherous. I don't think I'll be able to get up there with Thief. I should be able to get up there, however, with John. Where there's a will, there's a way. Actually, it might be a good idea to set camp up here. I know we're elevated and we can be seen, but like not if we like hide behind this rock. So it's a corpse. Letter to Brother Rodolfo. John's got something to say. He's going to update his journal here. Found a poor man from a long time ago. Chilled me for some reason. Some deep thinking. So the corpse has been identified as a Jesuit missionary, interestingly enough. They're not really a thing in these parts anymore, not really. So we definitely haven't come across any Jesuit missionaries before, so this is a really unique find. We did that stranger mission a while ago where we had to find those crime scenes, and it brought up corpses on the map. And I've ridden around the map a lot, obviously. I've done a lot more riding, covered a lot more ground via horse than I have by fast travel, stagecoach, train, or just using the fast travel map out of my home. But it brought up the point that, you know, what are all these corpses across my map? And I think it was Maya or someone shared with me that, you know, there are corpses everywhere over the map, and a lot of them lead to some interesting finds. You can inspect them like I just did with that corpse, and there's backstory and different random encounters attached to a lot of them. So anytime I come across a random corpse like that on my map going forward, I know we don't have a lot with this Let's Play going forward now, but very, very cool. Just more depth to the game. It tells you kind of what the history of this area was. And interesting that John was chilled by finding that corpse. You know, that corpse has been here for probably a couple hundred years. It wouldn't surprise me if it was for that length of time, and no one has removed it, or I guess no one even really knew it was there. John Marston has a sixth sense level intuition, so he was able to identify it, like the freaking Power Rangers. But not everyone's like that. It is kind of sad to know that you can die like that and just be left out here, and no one even knows you're there, and you're just left to die alone and cold because it's night and it's just boiling hot during the day. That was a pretty scary hello. We really should think about setting up camp soon. Oh, that's cool. It even identifies the corpse find on my map. So I guess as you identify all the corpses across your map, it'll update them. Just like when we found the hermits, it like puts a little picture on your map, so you can identify them in those places of interest in the future. Interestingly enough, on the opposite side of the Sea of Coronado here, this little body of water on my right, there's actually another corpse up here, so it might be worth checking out again. Man, looks like killing some time was definitely worth it. We've come across some interesting finds here. So this is an interesting corpse because
easy there.
I was gonna say it's just off to the side of the road here, but it's actually hanging up there. It's like he's like hanging by his foot. I'll use my binoculars. What I can do is I can shoot him down. Which will give me the opportunity to examine him. So I can't examine this corpse, so it's not like a key find. It looks like just a passerby whom was probably killed by the Del Lobos gang. He had this treasure map on him. It's some sort of a fireplace. There's water and then the two canyons. I think that's somewhere in this area. It's another treasure map nonetheless. I haven't been too interested. A couple other corpses that we've come across have basically just given us additional treasure maps to go after. Man, like, there's such little information on that treasure map. It's literally a picture of like a stone fireplace with two canyons. It feels like it's in this area because you can see the water in the middle and the canyons on either side, but maybe my brain just doesn't work like that. Treasure maps, coach robberies, you know, those are things that we can still do on the side, but I'm not too worried about them at this point. If it was a fireplace, you'd see the structure like on my map. I wonder if it's just up here. There's some civilization here. And you can see there's a canyon there, and then the water in the background. So let's actually check this building out down here. Just because the treasure map was found in this area, it doesn't mean that the treasure is here per se. But while I'm here, I just want to have a look, and because that map did not have a lot of information on it, I feel like the find must be in this area, because how would you assume that it's on the other side of the map? All I know is that there's a fireplace, water, and two canyons. These buildings that I'm going to here are really the only like structures in this whole area way out west here, so.
Good morning.
Looks like something is hidden in a fireplace. We've come across homes before where like the walls are all like torn down, like cabins, and like it's just like you see just like the floorboards and like a fireplace standing there, like an old abandoned property. That's what it looks like to me. I would say we've covered about 80% of the New Austin map now. Much, much better than what we had covered coming into this part.
Slow now.
No way. So that preacher that we pass by all the time in the water.
Stop it!
Hey, easy.
Go away!
Is apparently out here in New Austin too.
Partner?
He won't leave me alone. I asked him, but he won't. I'm feeling very abandoned, you know, very ignored.
I think it's the same guy.
See, I asked for a message, and he gave me the whole world, but no signal I can understand. All these All these people, and none of them quite right. That's very frustrating. The whole world.
Wasn't that enough?
No! It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough at all. That's a problem. I'm so greedy. I'm awful.
Poor guys, obviously.
One more time, boy.
Got some things going on. We've met him before, and I think we had a bit of a discussion with him before as well. Just a crazy old man. I'm surprised the Del Lobos haven't picked him off already, being the vulnerable guy that he is. He's always just standing in a body of water preaching, God bless his soul.
Easy now.
Yeah, this is where I thought it was, because you have the water in the background and then you have, see the two kind of big rocks on both sides. Is there like an outdoor fireplace here? If there's an outdoor fireplace on this property, I think we nailed it. I do not see one though. You know what? The fireplace could be inside the building though as well. It looks abandoned. No, actually, as a matter of fact, it does not look abandoned. Not the inside here. Yeah, I don't see anything like that, so... It is made of stone, the house. We'll forget that treasure map for now, and if we really want to go after some more treasure maps again,
here we go,
it's an option. Like I said, we need to kill some more time still, so if there's anything in particular, we'll probably have to do another video as well before the finale, another part. So we'll probably go 93 and then part 94 is the finale. Again, this is kind of the last chance. If there's anything that you do want me to see or cover, like now we've got these the challenges that I showed you, and we have the treasure maps now as well. Some there. That other corpse though, that Jesuit missionary, he actually had a letter on him that's probably worth a read. So. We can definitely do that as well. Let's go like right here, just so that we can open up a little bit more of that map to the south, and then I'm done here in New Austin, and we can probably take a stagecoach back to Blackwater.
Yes. Ha.
Okay, so that's our friend who does like the practice shooting.
Slow it.
You there. Would you be interested in some friendly competition?
We've come across these random encounters before too, where you have to shoot like a certain amount of bottles or something.
From Mexico to challenge a real American gunslinger. You him?
I think so.
I'm no gunslinger, all right, but I do like a challenge. What are you thinking then?
Okay, man. That's what I like to hear. Look, man, rules are simple, okay? Whoever shoots more of these bottles wins. Just draw your gun and aim when you're ready, all right? Shoot! yes! Damn it all! How the hell did you beat me, huh?
Just a better shot, I suppose.
That didn't make me happy at all. How about we raise the stakes, huh?
Only if I'm allowed to drink some snake oil here first. Because I need to fill my debt.
Come on. Could win real big, huh?
This is what happens. They get you to play a second time, and now suddenly they're the greatest shooter in the world because the stakes are higher, bigger money. I'm down, though.
That's a good call, amigo. All right, real simple. First one to hit 4 flying birds wins.
4 flying birds?
Stand near me, and as soon as they come out, it's anyone's shot. Be patient. Ah, there they go. Shoot!
Ah, shoot. I need some more Deadeye. That's hard. I don't have my rifle equipped on me right now. He's using a rifle, the big cheater.
Ah, man. Stupid. So you can shoot, huh? Here it is, okay? Man of my word.
Appreciate it.
Easiest 10 bucks I ever did make.
Better watch out next time. You'll see.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Clearly, Mexico does not have the better shooters. Later, my dude. Probably not the same guy that, like the exact same guy. Obviously not the same guy that we participated in, you know, those similar mini games with before. We've done similar mini games to that before, but obviously with different characters. But still, kind of cool. Looks like I still have my shooting wits about me, so that instills some confidence in me. Another night just went by there where we had no sleep, so now I'm really kicking myself here. We really need to set up camp somewhere. There's just so much to be done, and still no word on Evelyn Miller, so hopefully not too long with that now. Now, if we have to travel to New Austin for whatever reason, it's so much easier when you can visually see the whole map. You know exactly where everything is. You know, if there's reference of a specific place, you already know exactly how to get there because we've already basically been around the entire map of New Austin. So I was hoping to get to some of those other things here in this one, like Evelyn Miller, and you know, if we had to, the ties that bind. But you know, we found other ways to stay busy, so that's okay. Like I said, we definitely accomplished a fair bit out here in New Austin. Taking a few steps towards building a name for ourselves out this way. Our whole video kind of turned into just some open world exploring. We'll do Ties That Bind and Evelyn Miller next time for sure. And then if I really still need more
Head's
time,
still
we'll have to
rolling
look
from
at
the road.
the treasure maps, doing maybe one more treasure map. Again, comment below if there's one particular one that you saw from my list earlier that you really want me to cover here. Some are more important than others. So the Jack Hall gang treasure map, I believe, is a stranger mission. So some treasure maps are more important than others. But so I don't have a destination right now. Again, we're just exploring, just opening up more of the map here in New Austin. I'm really OCD about it, so cut me some slack. Okay, so we've got the vast majority of the map now, minus a little small blur south of Armadillo. I have a strange feeling that Micah is probably hiding out here. So I know I said earlier, you know, the main story hasn't really taken us out in New Austin. There are still 2 missions left, and I do have a feeling Micah is out here, so we probably will come out here again. Might be able to clear that blur then. $11:05 a.m.
Easy now.
Midday. Normally I would set camp up at night. I meant to a couple times, just never really did. Oh, we can actually fast travel straight from here instead of going back to the stagecoach and paying there. We gotta manja a little bit here first. We have 3 big game meat, so we'll go with that for now. I'll have one more just to really spoil myself. Nothing like spoiling yourself with some plain big game meat. I know personally myself, when I come home on a Friday night after a long work week, nothing thrills me more than the thought of devouring some plain big game meat. Straight from the plains. We should try and have a nap. We'll have a little noonday dream here. We'll sleep until the evening, and then we'll fast travel back to, where do you think? I guess Blackwater, I guess. Gives us at least some of a sleep. I like how I just called a nap 7 hours of sleep. That would be like the best nap ever. John has food available, which he could deliver to Evelyn Miller's cabin. Perfect. So we actually can do the next part of Evelyn Miller. Amazing. Alright, closest place is probably to go to Beecher's Hope. Hopefully when we warp back there, it doesn't like automatically launch us into that Abigail mission that's waiting for us there. That would be kind of awkward. Well, goal completed. Our goal here was to kill enough time to allow the next part of the Evelyn Miller mission to become available. We can drop more food off to him. He's still slaving out, writing his new book at his cabin in Tall Tree, so as we continue building a relationship with him, we will focus on getting some more food to him. 10 o'clock at night is not too late to go visit him, right? Good. So taking this food to him is still like, what, part 3 of the American Inferno Burnt Out? Part 4. I think there's 5 parts. This will now be the 3rd time for part 4 of the American Inferno Burnt Out that we're bringing food to Evelyn Miller to support him. So, 3rd time's a charm. Hopefully this finishes this part, and then our next vid will be planned out perfectly because we can do Evelyn Miller part 5 and The Ties That Bind. If this is the last time we have to bring him food. I would say probably about 7 days, at least, of in-game time has passed. Like, a significant amount of time anyways. I think I gave him some meat that I hunted last time. I think I gave him some perishable food items before. I always like to just switching it up, making sure he's getting a healthy, balanced diet while he's slaving away. No Del Lobos out here, but Skinner Bros. That's the concern while we're in this area.
What's that? Let up.
What? What the hell? Oh my god. That's a woman. And she has arrows everywhere.
Something ain't right.
Something's not right here. This is pretty close to Evelyn Miller's cabin, I'm sure of it. Someone's coughing out here. There's another 3 corpses. This is 100% Skinner Bros. There's another corpse over here. They slaughtered what looks like an entire family. An entire group of, looks like unarmed people.
Oh, god damn it.
Who goes there? I can't hardly see.
Oh my gosh. We thought what this...
Get out of here, mister. Skinners. They might be close.
Oh my gosh. We thought the Skinner Bros putting Uncle over the fire was bad.
In the night. Like jackals from hell. Screams! Something awful.
This must have just recently happened. He said they came in the night. It's only 12:40 now. This must be a pretty fresh crime scene. There's like 3 charred bodies right here. There's him. There's about 4 corpses back here. He's warning me that they could still be around.
You there? You there?
I'm here.
I'm coming.
Oh my god. I was thinking about maybe putting him out of his misery there. This is not good. We've tried multiple times to take care of the Skinner Bros. We have killed a lot of Skinner Bros. You can see these people just had like a caravan set up here, and the Skinner Bros attacked them. I just said earlier, we camped out up by Aurora Basin recently, and some Skinner Bros snuck up on us. Right here by where this legendary fish is here at Aurora Basin, and some Skinner Bros snuck up on us. They are just like cockroaches infesting this Tall Trees region. And we're a little bit further away at Beecher's Hope, you know, so we may have cleared them from our immediate vicinity there. But they're still very much out here in numbers out here in the forest, and it's not good for Evelyn Miller. We know how close by Evelyn Miller is. The Skinner Bros may catch wind that Evelyn Miller is staying there. They may know who Evelyn Miller is. Evelyn Miller does have a history. That was not good, man. I really thought that we were resolving this Skinner Bros problem, but I guess there's just too many of them.
Settle.
We must be getting pretty close now. Let's see if we go up to him at the window, if he'll have anything to say. Hopefully we don't scare the daylights out of him.
Another rewrite. That's all it'll take.
Another rewrite?
It's there. It's just not quite right.
My dude, I'm losing it here.
I should like to see you, sir.
Just as soon as I finish this. It really requires the entirety of my concentration, you see. So, if you please.
Sometime soon, then.
Yeah, like I'm trying to build a relationship here with you, bro, but all I'm doing is bringing you pork tenderloin. A relationship cannot be built on pork tenderloin alone, my friend. Let me assure you. Alright, we'll leave some food here. I've got 2 mature venison meats. To me, the meat is more nutritious for this guy than giving him canned kidney beans. So, I'm not saying canned kidney beans are not nutritious. Don't go to your storage and immediately throw out any cans of kidney beans that you have because of this information. I'm just saying, the mature venison meat likely more nutritious. It's what you're getting, regardless. I don't care if you're vegetarian, vegan, whatever. I respect that, but this is all I got, my friend.
For you, Mr. Miller.
Just let me complete this thought, eh? There's a good man.
All we get is return to Evelyn Miller's cabin with more food later. So, the food chronicles continue here with Evelyn Miller. And we will have to kill some more time for sure. I thought maybe after the 3rd time he might come to the door and say, oh, thank you for bringing me food this entire time, and we'd be able to all move on with our lives, but apparently a week is not long enough to ask an author to write a book. I'm starting to think maybe my expectations are simply just too high. Okay, that's about all I got for you in this one. You can see the large swath of land we covered here to the west and south in New Austin, including opening up Tumbleweed. We discovered some real interesting places, especially in the western portions of New Austin, with this little Del Lobos hideout going on here at Gaptooth Ridge there. We found an interesting corpse, the corpse of a Jesuit missionary. That's what I wanted to do before I quit here, was open up my satchel and read that. This is what that really old Jesuit missionary corpse had on him. Letter to Brother Rodolfo from Cardinal Blanco. Good Lord. Madrid. So these are immigrants from Spain. November 24th, 1797. Wow, man has walked these parts for quite a while, actually. European immigrants have been here for quite a while. Thank you for your letter. Sometimes politics and the ways of the church are not as pure as perhaps you wish they were. The world is the world of men. Yes, you say, God has given it to us, but we must live in the world as it is, amongst men, some of whom are both very powerful and not entirely receptive to our message. Such is the king at this time, or at least so are his envoys. Perhaps my weakness is a terrible sin, and the concessions I granted them will lead me to hell, as you suggest, but equally, it is possible that your pride is also perhaps a little sinful. I do not know. I have learnt that we are at our most vulnerable when we judge others harshest. I beg you to reconsider your plan to leave the mission. We need your energy here amongst men. Perhaps, as you say, God calls you from the east, as once he called the Magi. But firstly, I would like to remind you, the Magi traveled west, and your journey from the mission is an extremely perilous one. Like you, I believe in acts of blind faith, but unlike you, I do not believe God wants us to be stupid. Please stay in California until I arrive next March. I implore you to show wisdom, loyalty, and humility at this profoundly difficult time for all of our brotherhood in the New World, and to refrain from making this perilous and vainglorious journey alone. Our very survival depends upon it. Sincerely, Cardinal Blanco. So that was probably Brother Rodolfo, that corpse. Doesn't look like he made it on his journey. Looks like he did try and make the journey alone, but did not make it. So your journey from the mission is an extremely perilous one. Like you, I believe in acts of blind faith, and unlike you, well, yeah. And then he was saying, perhaps your pride is a sin. So this Brother Rodolfo was obviously very prideful, thought he could make this trip. Didn't happen. It's a good snapshot of, kind of what was going on in this land around this time. This would have been 100 and some odd years earlier. Gives you a little bit of backstory to the corpse, to finding the corpse. Looks like the land at that time was just as perilous as it is now, with all the gangs and dangers we have going on here. Looks like the world was just as unforgiving to poor Brother Rodolfo as it's been to us on occasion. So we were able to bring Evelyn Miller some more food. This is good. But as I said, we weren't lucky enough to see us go on to the next part of that mission. That's still the real key thing holding me back before we move forward with the main story missions. So the next part will not be the finale. We'll continue to really stay focused on finishing Evelyn Miller. We'll have to wait for us to get that notification again, though, so we'll have to kill some more time. We'll do the ties that bind. And then we should have options, a couple different options if we do actually need even more time. Looks like Tumbleweed has another bounty poster available for us already. As well as the treasure maps, like I said. We could have a look at maybe doing one more treasure map. That seems like the best option because, we might actually get something nice from finding some of these treasures that could benefit us, whether it be money, guns, etc. So we definitely have some options, but that's where we're at right now. Once we kill some time, we're able to tie up this Evelyn Miller mission. And I'm really 100% happy, which I should be at that point with where we're at. Then we can pick up at Beecher's Hope with Abigail and see what we can do. One thing that I haven't done, I've fed my face multiple times in this playthrough, and I didn't feed Thief at all, and he's been on one hell of a ride so far. We're still underweight, but it doesn't look like it's quite as bad as when we first started, quite as critical as when we first started, so that's always a good sign. But that was a long ride with Thief. He treated me well after losing Clutch there at the beginning of our time together. This is the last horse that I own, so we'll need to take good care of him. There you go, buddy. I ain't gonna forget about you. Don't you worry. And because it's probably been about 24 hours since you've last eaten, you'll get 3 pieces of hay. There you go.
Nice, ain't it?
I said we'd probably go about 95 videos. Right now, looks like we'll stretch it about 2 more. So the countdown is on. We didn't really do anything in terms of like real game completion here. I know we did some challenges and a bounty poster, so there might be some small completion here, but I don't expect to see this number go up all that much when we save here. We go from 86.9, we stay at 86.9. That's okay. I still think we were able to accomplish a lot here. Make sure to like and subscribe so you see when all my videos come out, and I'll see you on the other side.